At First Credit Union Hotline, ESPN College Football Insider and analyst, 1984 BYU National Champion Trevor Matich for another Matich Monday. Trevor, great to have you with us. I know it's been 6 days since BYU dominated UCF in the Boca Raton Bowl, but 6 days later, what do you think of BYU's performance to close out an 11-1 season?
It was a dominant performance, and it was exactly what you'd expect of this team. A lot of people thought BYU might be deflated because of that big loss to Coastal Carolina that kept them from having their perfect season. But rather than be deflated, they came out and wanted to showcase what they could do in their final opportunity, and they played to the limits of their abilities. Man, it was fantastic.
We were talking about some of the biggest surprises of the season. What was the biggest surprise in your mind, Trevor?
The biggest surprise in my mind, I think, is how well the defense played. I thought the defense would be good, but I love the way they put together their linebackers and safeties. This team is largely interchangeable at linebacker and safety, not completely, but pretty close, which gives the coaches a lot of flexibility in terms of designing pressures and coverages without having to change personnel groups. And we've seen over the course of the season that severely messed up some really good quarterbacks and really good offenses, including UCF in the bowl game. So I thought this defense would be good, but I love the creativity that turned it into an outstanding defense.
Trevor, it's pretty remarkable that BYU is now in position to maybe finish in the AP top 10 when the final rankings are released, thanks in part to Coastal Carolina losing to Liberty and some other attrition that will happen. Is it your opinion that BYU will finish in the AP top 10, and do they deserve that?
Well, they very well could. And do they deserve it? I think they absolutely deserve it. I think they've been a top 10 caliber team all season long. And they do need some help up ahead of them, but they've done everything they can do. And one of the things that we've got here is recency bias, right? Where the last thing that voters see is the thing that tends to be the strongest in their minds. And the last thing they saw from BYU was the BYU that dominated, had fun, danced on the sideline, danced after the game. That's that fun BYU that everyone fell in love with, and that's the last thing that the voters got to see.
Trevor, how would you summarize what we saw this year? Because for me, it was gratitude and special and fun, like you talked about. Because there was a point where we didn't know if BYU would play at all. Then they're the highest-ranked team in the West and finishes 11-1. It was a magical season. How would you summarize what we saw?
I think magical is a good word. I think that because of everything that they went through this season with COVID, and by the way, they had their issues with COVID. Just as a private university, they didn't always publicize everything. They just followed COVID protocols and did things the right way, but they struggled with it like other teams did. And then to put together this season, to dominate the way they did, to come 1 yard short of perfection. I think when you put it all together, this BYU team should be respected as highly as any team in the history of this program, and that includes the national championship year. What they have overcome this year, no other team in BYU history has ever had to even confront, much less excel and then dominate over the course of something like this. And so I see this season as being as special as any that I've ever seen at BYU.
Wow, significant praise from ESPN's Trevor Matich on BYU Sports Nation. One of your former ESPN colleagues, Brett McMurphy, joked after Liberty beat Coastal Carolina, "When's the BYU Liberty Bowl game?" Trevor, with that in mind, who's the best possible bowl opponent if BYU were to play a second bowl game in 2020?
Alabama. Bring them on. We want Bama. Right? Though that Liberty Coastal Carolina game was phenomenal. And Liberty would have been a great bowl game, a great game for BYU anyway. But since BYU will play anybody anytime, as they proved by saddling up and heading on out to South Carolina at the last minute, I think they should be able to play a second bowl game, don't you? I think Army still needs an opponent. Play them. That's only halfway.
That would be fun, right? Yeah, exactly.
Cool. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if they would do that, but.
That would be fun. That would be fun. Okay, Zach Wilson's ascension from preseason, although we didn't feel this way. Some people thought there was a quarterback battle with Jaren Hall and Baylor Romney. Jaren Hall doesn't play at all this year, and Baylor Romney was the backup. To maybe the second pick in the draft to the Jets, Trevor. How would you summarize what Zach Wilson did, and do you expect him to be the second pick in the NFL draft?
I'm not sure exactly where he'll be drafted. I imagine in the first half of the first round. But what he did was live up to everything that I'm sure he hoped he'd be able to do. Certainly everything the BYU fans had hoped he'd be able to do. He was hurt the first 2 years for parts of those years, and that slowed him down, not just in those seasons, but also in preparation for the following season. Then this year, no spring basically, and summer camp was weird because of COVID. He couldn't throw with his receivers as much as he would have wanted to in July. All those different things slowed down, or it seemed like they may slow down his progress, but all he did was step up and have this magical season. The thing about the NFL is that when they look at a quarterback, they look at his accuracy and his arm strength as merely the price of admission. If you can throw the ball with an NFL caliber arm, that's mildly interesting if you don't have the other side, and that's the mental side. Because in college, a quarterback is largely a running back with an arm. In the NFL, a quarterback is largely a Rhodes Scholar with an arm. And Zach Wilson is famous for being a PhD in the study of this game. He's not just a gym rat or a practice guy. He's a guy that loves film study. He loves to know what defenses are doing. And in the interview process in the draft, he will shine as well as any quarterback that the NFL scouts will interview this year, and that includes Trevor Lawrence. And I think that's what will elevate him above other quarterbacks, because he has put in the work to learn the academic side of quarterbacking that you need to know in order to succeed in the NFL.
We're obviously very excited to see where Zach lands in the NFL. The college football playoff semifinalists will also have a number of men that land in the NFL, so let's go there. Of the Final Four, Trevor, if not Alabama or Clemson, would Ohio State or Notre Dame be the more likely shocker to get into the national championship game?
I think Ohio State would be more of the shocker. They have had tremendous issues with COVID. You know, they played their last game, the Big Ten championship game, with about 20 guys not available, part COVID, part contact tracing, part injury. And so they've not really been able to come together this season and really gel. Keep in mind also that they started very late and they only played 6 games, famously. Dabo Swinney of Clemson has never let us forget that they only played 6 games. A part of the problem with that is that they don't have that time for everything to get into a great rhythm. And now they've got to play against teams that did have time for everything to get into a great rhythm. And so that's why I think Ohio State would be the bigger shocker if they're able to get to the final.
Trevor, we've enjoyed your coverage. You've been working basically every day to work us through this bowl game season. So rest up. We'll be watching. Thanks, man.
Thanks. I appreciate it. And Spencer, it's interesting that Jarom was the only one that got the memo that today is Key Lime Hoodie Day.
Mm-hmm.
I'll pay better attention next time. Thanks, Trevor. Trevor Matich on the Deseret First Credit Union Hotline. Deseret First, you know why, we show how.
Hey, go Hawks, NFC champs.